Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me, as always, coming to you from ESPN 975-925. And man, we're getting ready to do this thing because we got a big weekend coming up, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. My girl Promise Braxton. Big shout out. Just want to throw that out there. But Bradley, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Book. I'm excited for this weekend. You're going to see Will All-Day, Cam Cole for the last time in a steel cage match. Promise Braxton versus NXT's Ivy Niles. Excuse me.
That's right. Get that out. Get it right.
Ivy Niles. Man, a double main event, really. Going down at the World Gym Arena. Tickets are available in limited quantities at realitywrestling.com. And look, the thing about it is steel cage matches are always fun, but this is also the first time we're getting a great NXT talent to go against a great reality wrestling talent in a one-on-one situation. Never happened before. We've had NXT people come down before, but we've never had them in a one-on-one match. It's the first time ever.
Yeah. Get a chance to see exactly, what Promise Braxton is all about. And like I said, I think Promise is a diamond in the rough, man. She definitely just waiting on her time to shine more than anything, and to be able to get a chance to get in there and mix it up with a NXT talent, somebody that's there looking to make it to that next level, which is the main roster of SmackDown Raw, is really, really awesome, man. I wish, I would have had a chance to do something like this coming up, when I was just getting started. But I do remember, my first time getting a chance to mix it up with somebody like Dusty Wolf, who was somebody who worked in the WWF back in the day. He only did jobs. He's like a job guy. But when I first worked Dusty Wolf, I said, man, if you could just take me out here, I would appreciate it. If you could just take me out here and guide me through this match, and because I was going over, I was winning. And I said, if you could just take me, through this match and, make me look good, I really would appreciate it. He said, kid, I got you. Just follow my lead. And that dude went out there and made me look better than I ever could have made myself look in a million years. And the moral to that story for me was I knew he knew more than I did. So I just follow, brother, just follow, so for, someone like Ivy, and Promise Braxton to meet up, like this is really, really awesome, because Ivy, she's still learning herself. And for me to be able to give her just a little bit of knowledge to be able to take back to NXT, it's going to be pretty cool.
So that all goes down to the World Gym Arena this Saturday, including also, I'm hearing this, the Open Texas Championship Challenge. Ryan Davison is hosting on Saturday, as well as the Reality Wrestling Tag Team Championships will be defended. That's the Heat will be defending those championships on Saturday night. So you're going to be a busy man, Book. You're a busy guy.
I'm retired now, man, from the ring. So I'm stepping into my next phase, which, just because I'm not going to be stepping back in the ring from a wrestling perspective, I don't think I'm not going to be out there doing something perhaps from a managerial perspective. So you still going to be seeing me. I've been getting a lot of well wishes, people saying, man, we appreciate the years, man, all of the fun that you brought, to the table, man. And I appreciate that, man. I really do, man. I really appreciate that. And like I say, Brad caught me off guard, making me announce my retirement prematurely. But no, man, I'm content though, man. I'm so content, man. I'm living my best life. Spending money.
Yeah.
Spending money.
Well, as you should, live the best life. And did you say spending money?
Spending money. I already said, man, the kids, when I go, ain't gonna be nothing left but assets. No cash. Won't be no cash left around anyway.
No liquid.
I'm spending all of it, man. I got people out the back working, you know what I mean? People out in the front working, people on top of the roof working, everybody working around the Huffman house, man. I'm serious.
Every time I talk to Book, and this is not an exaggeration, literally every phone call, I'll be like, hey, Book, what are you up to? I'm just getting something done on my car, man. Oh, I'm getting a new stereo put in. I'm getting a new paint job. I'm getting the new grill. I'm getting the new doors. I put some new rims on the Jag dog. You know what I mean? It's like every time I talk to you, you're doing something to a car.
Bro, I'm spending money, man. I just, decided to, have fun, man. live life. After our last show, and you had that article about the 5 people I like and the 5 people I hate. I
Yes.
was I was talking to William Regal. I was talking to William Regal about that. I said, William, there was an article came out and you was on the list. And the list was, 5 people I like and 5 people I hate. And he goes, I was on the hate list, right? And I go, yeah. And him and we had a conversation for about 20 minutes. The buses for NXT, the fans start rolling in. That's how long we sit there and talked
Wow.
about that situation as far as how toxic people are to think that I would hate William Regal. You know what I mean? Somebody who actually, I'm gonna sit here and say I actually can say I love Steven Regal, William Regal, whatever you want to call it. I call him, a little bit of both. But I love the dude, man. I mean, seriously, because we've been in the trenches together. We've been in the war together. And when you've gone through it, it's a certain camaraderie that you have, for each other along that journey, man. And I can never, ever in a million years formulate, saying I hate somebody. So I say, man, have fun in life. Spend some money. Enjoy this ride, man, because, we're not promised tomorrow. Speaking of that right there, Jerry Lawler, had an episode, had a stroke and had to have surgery. And right now he's in recovery. I just want to send my prayers out to Jerry Lawler. And the thing is, Jerry Lawler and I, we haven't been the best of friends in the world, but I don't wish no ill will on someone like Jerry Lawler, even though we haven't been like I say, him and, perhaps Jeff Jarrett, but he's a guy that I respect so much. You know what I mean? And to see him in this condition, man, it saddens me to the utmost, man. So get well and get back on your feet, Jerry Lawler. I mean, one thing about Jerry Lawler, man, this dude's tough, man. This dude's tough.
He's been kicking out at 2.5 for the last decade.
He go kick out. You know what I mean? He go pull the straps down. So my thing, I'm serious, man. So get well, Jerry, and get back on the table, dog. Seriously, can't wait to see you.
Yeah, well wishes, Jerry King Lawler. I believe this is his second stroke that he's had, and then he had the heart attack on live TV. What was that, a decade ago or more? Crazy, but yeah, you're right. The King always makes it through. The King always makes it through, and I just read that he will be released in home by the weekend. So great news for Jerry King Lawler. Glad that he's all right. Hey, I have a question real quick about Jerry Lawler. I know we got to go to a break in a second. Do you think, like, for people my generation, right? We grew up with the King being the voice of Raw with JR, right? Not really an active wrestler. He would wrestle every so often. But to me, when I think of Jerry the King Lawler, the first thing I think of is commentator. And I'm sure for you, when you think of Jerry the King Lawler, the first thing you think is like AWA champion, the wrestler, the strap coming down. But do you think that he'll be more known for his broadcasting career or the wrestling career?
For me, when I think about Jerry Lawler, I think both. You know what I mean? Because I had a chance to see, a long part of his career in ring. But one thing about it, we didn't really get a whole lot of, we got AWA, but we wasn't really big fans of AWA. We was fans of NWA, so it was like, SmackDown and, WCW or Raw and WWE and SmackDown. WCW. So it was a little bit different, but I got a chance to see a little bit of his wrestling career. But I think I remember more from his broadcasting career more than anything, man, just because he's been so prolific, as a broadcaster.
I agree. I think of him as a commentator first. And, obviously, this is how great of a worker he was, though. And is, I guess. I haven't seen him wrestle in a long time, but I think we talked about this before. When I was a kid, I didn't know that he was a wrestler. And when he would wrestle, I knew nothing about him as a wrestler. But I remember when he pulled the strap down, the first time I ever saw him wrestle, I remember going, oh, like something's about to happen. I knew nothing.
Yeah.
Right. But that just tells you how great of a worker he was, because he got me in the first time I ever saw him.
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, you can say a whole lot about Jerry Lawler, and I know we got to take a break. Well, you know what? And I'll pick that up on the return. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We're just talking my man, the King, Jerry Lawler, who's recovering from a stroke, and hopefully he'll be home this weekend, back safe and sound, and working on his road to recovery back to that desk, man, because I do love being at that table. One thing about Jerry Lawler, man, I don't think Jerry Lawler get it. And the thing is, I never wrestled in Memphis, okay?
Mhm.
I never did, Memphis wrestling, back in the day. And just about every wrestler that, that became famous, they went through Memphis. They had to touch. It's almost like, going through Dallas. You had to touch it in order to, know what it means to actually be a part of that territory life, to make it to that next level. And Memphis wrestling definitely was that hub for so many years, for so many wrestlers, so many black wrestlers. And I must say, I don't think Jerry Lawler get enough credit for what he did for black wrestlers coming up throughout his time. One thing about this business, your reputation, it's going to get there way before you do. Okay, trust me. And one thing about Jerry Lawler, I've never heard one bad thing about him from black wrestlers that came before me that worked at Memphis territory, other than how much Jerry Lawler tried to help them and put them in a position where they could make some money. So many of them, man, so many of those guys, and so many stories. So I just wanted to give Jerry Lawler his props as far as, helping so many black wrestlers, come along throughout this business.
Yeah, man, that's incredible. I haven't really heard a whole lot about that myself. I know the Memphis territory. I know Jerry. They create a lot of characters like, Kamala, the Ugandan giant, and stuff like that. But it's great to hear, obviously, that people are always paying it forward and looking out. And the thing is, too, is like there's enough to go around, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know what I mean? There's enough to go around. We got to look after one another here.
Man, I always said, man, I don't want the whole. I don't want the whole pie, because I don't mind taking it home. But I was always, of the mindset of, just give me my one little slice. You know what I mean? And I'll be good with that slice. You know what I mean? I'll mold it out. I'll, figure out how to make it look like a whole pizza. You know what I mean? But just give me my slice and I'll be happy. And that's that's the way everybody should think. I think more important than anything. Seriously.
Yeah, man. Get well soon, Jerry the King Lawler. Obviously, book. There's a lot going on in the world of pro wrestling, as there always is. We do have a couple super chats here that I want to get to right now. This is from Right Now and Later, who said, not gonna lie, I popped when Book entered the Rumble, but I popped harder for the Spinaroonie.
Spinaroonie, baby. I still got it, man. I still got this. I was a little banged up after that Spinaroonie, though. I must say, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I had done the Spinaroonie in about 3 years. And that was a cold Spinaroonie, too, because I came right from the desk, right to the ring, right in there, bing, and knocked it out. But I tell you, man, Spinaroonie for life, baby. Spinaroonie for life. Never would have imagined in a million years that move would have taken me throughout my whole career and become my signature. The Spinaroonie. You gotta love it. My breakdancing days, man. That's what I come from, man. That cardboard box, over there on on my aunt's, a little patio surface there, I remember a lot of cold nights working on that Spinaroonie, man. I'm serious, man, working on my break dancing and my pop locking, getting ready for certain talent shows and whatnot. Oh, man, those are good old days, man. Seriously.
The good old days, of course. What is the actual, what is it called? A windmill? What is the exact?
You know what? What's crazy is I look at all these break dancers, man, and they bad. They could, go all over the place. Beat, 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 beat. I could never do a real windmill. I could never do the windmill. I could just do that one spin. That's it.
You couldn't do it to where you kept going.
None of that. One of the best break dancers you ever seen in your life. He couldn't do nothing. That's
So like okay, let me just paint the picture for me. You lay out the cardboard, right?
Yeah.
We're about to get it going. It's a dance battle. The boom.
No, that was normally just practice sessions.
That was the price session.
Yeah.
Let me just say, like you're with your boys, boombox is going. What are we playing on the stereo? Like what's bumping for you to get you in
Um,
we hear
uh,
it?
Probably bebop rock. You know what I mean?
Rock.
Bebop rock. You know what I mean? Something like that. Do 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 do. Do. Yeah, some of that.
Okay,
You know
so
what I mean?
bebop rock's going.
Yeah.
You got the cardboard out. You're in your
Yeah,
aunt's front
awesome,
yard.
awesome numbers. You know what I mean? Some craft work. You know what I mean? See the light. What do? You know what I mean? Some of that there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, and then so you got the cardboard out. Like, what's the routine? Like, what do you start with? Do you start like you pop a little bit and then go into the
Normally, when you bring the cardboard out, you normally just break it. You ain't doing
breaking?
pop locking. You just working on your break dancing. And for me, I was working on certain moves, as far as certain spins to come out, with a certain combination. I could do that kind of stuff. I just couldn't do the windmill. I don't know why. Maybe because I just never practiced trying to do the windmill. I don't know. I really, because it doesn't seem like it was too far from what I was trying to do anyway.
No, I mean the spinneroonie, like that's the start of it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. But you got to be able to, use your shoulders and whatnot. There's a lot of neck involved and whatnot, as well. So I don't know, but I just never felt like I needed to get to that part because I wasn't trying to make no money doing the break dancing thing. I was making money doing the pop locking. You know what I mean? That's when I was really, in the clubs, and contests and whatnot, having dance groups and whatnot. Break dancing was just kind of like a hobby. Just because I saw, the movie Breaking, Beat Street, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, look at that. Look, we're learning. We're learning.
Yeah.
What was the movie back in the day that had it had all the Def Jam guys in it? Like the early days, like LL was in it and Run DMC was in it. And it was based in New York.
I think that was Beat Street. Yeah.
Was that Beat Street? Was that what it was?
Yeah, that was Beat Street.
Okay. Yeah, I remember watching. No, Crush Groove. Crush Groove. Somebody just put it.
You know what? Nobody watched Crush Groove. That one didn't.
Rick Joe just said, yeah, it was Crush Groove.
That one didn't do too well. Beat Street and Breaking with Shabba Do. One of the guys who I, kind of like idolized back in the day when I was dancing. Shabba Do was bad, man. He was part of the Lockers, back in the day. I don't know if you know who Lockers are, but
what? My breakdance knowledge isn't as high as it should be.
No, the Lockers, they wouldn't break dance. They were pop locking group back in the day. And and those boys, they were innovators as far as dance goes, you know what I mean? So I always wanted to be one of the Lockers, you know what I mean? I thought I was going, I thought my famous moment was going to be me being on Soul Train one day.
With Don Cornelius.
I'm serious, man. I swear to God, I thought that was going to be my moment, being on Soul Train one day doing something with the Lockers. I'm serious. Them boys is bad, man. That's where they got their big break.
They were on Soul Train.
Soul Train, yeah. Fred, Rerun, Barry, you know what I mean? Used to play on the show back in the day called What's Happening. Big fat guy.
What's Happening? Yeah.
Fred that boy was cold, man. What's he got going?
Wait, his nickname was Rerun?
Yeah, Rerun.
That's the dopest name ever. Rerun. This is my favorite thing though about your breakdancing career. Let the people know you had a breaking crew. Let the people know what your crew's name was.
Yeah, you know what? We were very, very innovative before our time, and we would call the remote controls. That's what, back in the day, the TV, that's when we first got the remote control. We was like, man, that would be a cool name, to be called the remote controls. You know what I mean? And me, my boy Wendell, Lonnie Brown, you know what I mean? Boy, we tore it up, man, in a lot of spots, man. I'm serious, dog. I'm dead serious.
Can I be honest with you? The remote controls, it's an awesome name. It's a great name. Such a great name.
It is a great name, man. It's one of the best names for a group.
Like, what year is this?
80s.
80s, like early 80s, maybe?
Yeah.
So phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal name. The remote controls. We should get the ship shirt, yes. But we also need to get the remote control shirt. I would wear the hell out of that thing. I'm dead serious too.
Bro, the name was before its time. I'm
Yo.
gonna tell you right now, man. And that's what I've always been about. I've always been about, the optics of when you see it, when you feel it, you know what I mean? And you got to do all of that at the same time.
Look, chat. Drop a 5 for the 5-time champ. Drop a 5 in the chat if you want a remote control shirt. I guarantee you, it's gonna light up the chat. Drop a 5 if you want it.
Oh my God, man. Folks, Roses, man. We gotta take a break, man. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Yes, and it feels good to be back. For y'all that don't really know, this is exactly where the Usos started at, right here. Please keep showing love to Booker T, to the reality of wrestling. Those guys in the back, they bust their ass every month to get where they want, where me and Usos is at right now. They're doing it for you guys. Show love the whole ROW family. I'm telling you right now, these guys are the future back here. We started, the Usos was born right here. Right here. So, hey, support the ROW movement. When we say ooh, y'all say oh, ooh.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. I know we probably got a few super chats, man, but one story that just broke. I don't know if it just broke, but I was just checking out on the internet. Is CM Punk soon to be cleared to make his return back to AEW? And I wanted to put that out there because we need some clicks. You know what I mean? We're looking for a few clicks. And I know every time I mention CM Punk's name, the people just want to know what I got to say, man. They just got to hear it. You know what I mean? But my thing is, man, CM Punk soon to be cleared to return, perhaps, to AEW. What do you think, man? What do you think? You think CM Punk is going to make a return? Or is he going to, take that buyout? Or is he going to, I don't know, try to make a return back to WWE? What do you think?
I don't think that he comes back to AEW. I just
let's mark that check off. You do not.
We know what
coming back to AEW. Wait a minute, AEW out. Okay, got it. Okay, next. What? What?
Well, I say that. I do. I say that. What I think. Okay, would it be a great idea for the locker room morale? No, I don't think so. Right? For either company, right? Even for reality wrestling. But we do have to remember one thing. This is called the wrestling business, right?
Yeah.
And if there would be an interest for people to see him, right? If they can draw eyeballs, if they can draw money, I never will say never in this industry. And I only say that because I learned from what happened with Vince, right? Everybody got brought back. Like Hogan. Hey, we can make money with him. Bring him in. Flair. We can make money with him. Bring him in. Ultimate Warrior. We can make money with him. Bring him back. Bruno Sammartino. We can make money with him. Bring him back. You know what I mean? Like, if there's good business to be had, you do have to weigh out the pros and cons of the locker room. But would I be surprised? Yes. Would I be shocked? No. If you think about it from a business standpoint.
Prior to shock, as far as
if he were to come back
to WWE,
to either one.
Oh, okay, AEW. Okay, all right. Yeah. I just wondered, man. I just wondering. It's out there, CM Punk.
Well,
I tell you what, man. CM Punk, what now? 45?
Yeah,
45.
Got to be close.
And his last run was this, press scrum. I think, man, I tell you, man, the footage when CM Punk exited that night, Brother looked tired, man. I know he had been in a grueling match.
Sure.
He was bloody, bruised, battered, torn, literally because he tore his tricep.
Tore his tricep.
Yeah, so that's literally and figuratively. But yeah. How much longer can you push yourself at 45 in a company like AEW? That's my question more than anything.
You're talking about like work rate wise?
Man, I'm talking about going out there and trying to have those type of matches because, I don't think you're going to be able to go out there and just have a regular, match in AEW after going out there and having these blood matches and it's, and it's got to be grueling. It's got to be, strong style, whatever. I don't know what they call it. I don't. It's just not a lot in the body after 45 left for those type of matches. Especially, didn't I say it also? Look here, and I'm not hating or anything like that, but I don't know if you remember me saying it, but that 7-year hiatus was CM Punk's worst enemy. Okay, coming back, soon as he got in the ring, boom, got hurt, left, got in again, got hurt, left. And the reason I say that is because I hadn't been in the ring in a while, and just the adrenaline dump of being in front of almost 60,000 people, it almost killed me. I'm serious. My body was so wrecked after absorbing that energy and then dumping it. My body was like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? And that's from not doing it on a regular basis, I'm sure. But I always felt like it was going to be hard for CM Punk to come back and run, especially run hard in that ECW, world. I'm sorry,
AEW.
AEW world. I just felt like that. I could have been wrong, but I haven't been proven wrong yet. And I don't think it's going to get any better, as far as work performances after 45, trying to work that style. It's impossible. It's impossible.
And the key thing that you mentioned there is the time off, right? Like look at a couple of the elder statesmen in AEW, right? Like a Sting or Chris Jericho, probably the best example of Jericho never stopped.
If Jericho stopped for 7 years, it's no way he would be able to. It's just like being a football player. You retire in that sport, try to come back and see what happened. Your body's not going to respond properly. It's just not. And I'm not talking about the Tom Brady, taking off and then say, "Oh no, I'm back." I'm talking about like Chris Carter, back in the day. You go back and research Chris Carter. Chris Carter took off like a year and then tried to come back. Man, they got hit one time, retired immediately. You know what I mean? I'm serious.
Oh, hell no.
I was like, man, what am I thinking? You know what I mean? I got a good broadcasting gig. Let me get back over there quick. You know what I mean? So no, I'm just saying it because of those reasons and those reasons only. The body responding at 25 is going to be a whole lot different responding at 45. And that's just fact.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. And CM Punk, it also shows why he was so injury prone, right? I mean, trying to work that style, because the AEW style, you can call it the strong style. Sometimes I call it the wrong style, because if you want to have longevity, right, like you can't take so much abuse. Well, I'll talk about with the amount of bumps, because I mean, this is one thing that I've always heard since I started in this wrestling industry is you only have so many bumps on your bump card, right?
Bottom line.
You only have so many bumps on your bump card. In the WWE style, and I'm just saying you can like one or the other. I'm just talking about the physical toll on your body is a little bit less of a nightly impact, right? And here's the other thing. AEW is going to start running house shows. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
Now, here's the thing. You can't do a match like that every night either.
Yeah, but I do think house shows will help those guys. You know what I mean?
I think it's great. I think it's great for the long term.
Totally, in tune, as far as their bodies to be tuned up. I'm sure they're not going to be as free to go out there and throw caution to the wind on those house shows, knowing that their moneymaker is back on their television program. but staying warmed up, keeping your body ready to go out there and do this is very, very important for me. It was almost like having a wound, with a scab on it all the time. You know what I mean? And you wanted it that way. You know what I mean? Because if it healed up totally, and then you hurt it again, oh, it's gonna hurt even more. You know what I mean? So that's that shock absorber. You know what I mean? That we use throughout our careers. You know what I mean? But I really think AEW would benefit from house shows as well as those guys. Perhaps figure out. For me, I always figured out, like I say, how to work house shows, TV, pay-per-views, overseas. For me, all those shows was different styles of matches, which figured out for me, which I figured out, man, I can get longevity if I go out here and think this way, opposed to just going out there and just, working like, I'm working, best of 7 every time. Can't do that. Just can't do it.
Yeah, no, I think you make a lot of point with the scab analogy, right? Or the what is it called? A callus.
Yeah,
right? You never want that callus to fully heal.
Oh, yeah.
And I do agree. I think that AEW is going to benefit the talent, especially the talent that's only getting to work once a week, and maybe even the talent that's not getting to work at all. Right? I mean, there's a lot of guys on that show they're not getting to work not even weekly. Sometimes they would get to work monthly because they just got so much talent over there.
I don't even know the roster, man. I mean, they got so many guys in AEW, and I don't know, a quarter of them. I really don't. Just because there haven't been like a whole lot of storylines, and then everybody's in a faction, so you don't know who's in what faction. It's just a little, convoluted a little bit.
Having said that, I saw that the Gun Club defeated the Acclaimed, and they're the new tag team champions. What do you think of the Gun Club?
Nah, man. I think the Gun Club is, those guys. I don't want to, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything other than I like the Gun Club. Okay, let's just say that because
there we go.
I don't want people thinking that I'm an official WWE scout, like I've been told before. I'm not. Okay, so I like the Gun Club, and hopefully they'll do well.
I think the Gun Club would do great in the WWE.
See that? I hope it's reported that way because I've seen you say stuff like that, and they still attribute it to me. Okay, so I hope they get this one right. Okay. But yeah, I like those guys. Take a break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Just talking a little AEW. Make sure you guys attribute that last quote to Brad Gilmore, Esquire.
Esquire, of course. You know who we should have on the show? Oh, remind me. I have to tell you something after the show's over. But who we should have on the show? We should have Tony Khan on the show. Tony Khan would be great on the show.
I love to have Tony Khan on, man. I mean, I think me and Tony Khan could really get into some really, really cool conversation about this business. And that's the thing is, you know, again, that word hate. Man, I don't hate nothing about Tony Khan. I mean, I love and appreciate what this guy is doing, you know, for the business, and that is giving guys a chance to make a living more. And I've been saying that forever in this business. When guys can make some money and take care of their families at the end of the day, it's really awesome because my thing is I was listening to that kid Wesley and he said, "Man, wrestling saved my life. I don't know what I would do if if it wasn't for wrestling. I went to the military and that was, I spent 3 years there. That didn't work out for me. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I got into a wrestling ring and I found myself. I understand that. And it's so many like Promise Braxton. You know what I mean? Promise Braxton. She's found herself through that square circle, through that 18 by 18. So my thing is, man, I have nothing but love for just about everybody. So I would love to sit down and have a conversation with Tony just on his concepts and his thoughts about what he thinks about the business and what his vision is more so than anything. Because you got to understand, Tony Khan was that young kid watching me. And now he owns his own company. So his vision is going to be totally different than perhaps the vision that I've been a part of in the journey that I've been on for so many years. And you know what? I might can learn from that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I will be more than welcome to that conversation.
I think that'd be great. Well, we put it out in the atmosphere. Let's manifest it. Let's have Tony Khan here inside the Hall of Fame. Inside the Hall of Fame book. You know what? Also, breaking news. Eric Gordon of the Houston Rockets have just been traded to the Los Angeles Clippers for John Wall. John Wall is coming back to Houston. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Till we start winning, man, I ain't gonna get excited.
What do you think? What do you think about your prediction of Kevin Durant and Kyrie and James Harden? You said that threesome wasn't going to work. Now here we are a year later. They're all off the team.
Look, bro. I mean, those were three, like Beyonce's on one team. No, it ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? You can get three Lizzos, and it ain't gonna work. I'm just keeping it real, man. You know what I mean? Those egos, those narcissistic personalities, and look up narcissists, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm serious. You understand exactly where you go. Man, Buck's right. These guys are narcissistic. I'm serious, man. I wouldn't say Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant probably just said, "Man, I can't take no more of this." You know what I mean? I'm all about balling, dog. You know what I mean? You can tell Kevin Durant, man, he ain't coming in with the new Jordans on and that. Hey, I mean, his hair ain't even combed. His beard ain't shaped up or nothing. All he want to do is ball. You know what I mean? So you got them kind of personalities. It ain't gonna work.
Yo, why doesn't he comb his hair?
I don't know.
This man is like the Bernie Sanders of the NBA.
He got so much money. He don't even try to comb his beard. You know what I mean? And you got Lovie Smith, who got beard of the year. You know what I mean? So you know the guys that want to win, they don't care about how they look. Compared to the guys who's losing all the time. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that's the perfect analogy, man. That's the perfect analogy.
Oh man, well, okay, let me ask you, like, who's the better team? Like Luka and Kyrie or KD, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker?
Come on, man. KD and Booker. Chris Paul, at the helm, guiding this ship in the passenger seat, navigating this process. I mean, come on. It's a no-brainer.
I agree with you. I agree. I think the Suns right now, I think they're in fourth. They might be in fourth or fifth. They're about to go to number one.
Yeah, that boy Booker, he needs some guidance, man. You know what I mean? And with somebody like Durant, can you imagine how happy he is? He's like, man, we can win a championship. That's what it's about.
They almost did it without him.
Not combing your beard or your hair.
And you're right too, because Kyrie's lineup is always crispy. Like Kyrie's got a nice, full, thick beard. It's crispy. It's lined up. It's looking right.
Yeah. And then you look at KD.
You know how KD, you know how
No,
we know
look like,
KD's
KD look homeless. I'm serious, man.
I don't think we can say homeless anymore. We got to say like sheltered, malnourished.
Well, yeah, all right. Let's say that then. Whatever.
You know what I'm saying? You know how he's a baller. He's always working on a shot. You know how I know? He hadn't gone to one leg day his whole life. You know what I'm saying? He skipped every one of them, every last leg day. That man's got the skinniest legs in the history of the National Basketball Association.
Hey man, like I said, but he almost a billionaire. That's the only thing that matters.
Oh no, hell yeah! I'm not gonna.
You know
hate.
what I mean? I'm serious. You know what I mean? With guys like that, man, that guy have zero ego. Zero. I mean, come on. When you ain't worried about going out and impressing the Joneses, that tells me a lot about you, man. You know, you look at the Steve Jobses of the world, guy just come out with a sweater and some jeans on, some Vans.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Well, that's because he's got that go to hell money.
No, I'm serious. No, I'm gonna tell you, man. My old boss, man, Bruce Kasarch. We thought this guy was the brokest dude in the world, man. He had holes in his shoes. You know what I mean? And this dude had so much money. You couldn't even imagine how much money he had. I'm serious. He drove around in a regular car. He looked so unassuming. You know what I mean? And that's how you keep your money. You know what I mean? That's how you understand, how to keep, making that money, rise more than anything. So yeah, man. Yeah. Hopefully KD get him a ring.
One more NBA story. I think it's a really a general sports story. LeBron James became the all-time leading scorer in the NBA history, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar earlier this week. What do you think of LeBron's accomplishment?
Get that boy his props, man. I mean, get LeBron James his props, man. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, and that's the only way I could, evaluate, talent of that magnitude, man. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, you know what I mean? Because I watched, Magic, you know what I mean? I watched Jordan, I watched Bird, you know what I mean? And all those guys were so great and so unique in their own ways. It's so hard to say who is truly the greatest, but who's got that scoring title, as far as the number one guy, that's LeBron James. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's because of his longevity. I don't know if it's because of his just will to find a way to get that ball in the basket. Whatever it is, he got that title, and he's well deserving of it. Let's just say that.
Oh, I think that, to me, there are people who still hate on LeBron James, but I'm in the camp like you can never hate on greatness. And like LeBron James is one of those once in a generation players who you have to appreciate when he's here. It's the same thing I said about Tom Brady, right? Like similar thing of like when you're just at an elite level, you can hate him winning all you want or changing teams or doing whatever, but you got to give him their respect at the end of the day. And LeBron James, if you are a fan of the NBA, you got to tip your hat to the guy. That's an incredible record.
It's just amazing, LeBron James, how much hate he's gotten.
I know.
It's amazing. That's why I say you can't go through your life, thinking about what other people think about you. You just can't. If you did, man, you would be a miserable person every day. So definitely spend some of that money.
Spend the money, man. Hey, I know we don't have too much longer. Super Bowl's this Sunday. Who you got?
Man, boy, Patrick Mahomes, bad, man. It's gonna be hard to go against that boy.
I agree. I think that they take it, and I just don't really like the Philadelphia Eagles in general. I'm not sure why.
I don't know, man. That Jalen Hurts, man, he's flawless, man. He really is. That dude, he is so extraordinary. He is different than any quarterback you ever seen. And for two brothers to be going head to head for the first time, I'm proud of this moment, I must say.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. This is the first time ever?
First time ever.
Wow. That's kind of shocking. You would have thought that would have happened before. Wow. Well, hey, yeah, man, more props to him. And I can't think of two better, especially in the game today, man. That guy, Patrick Mahomes, he's something else.
Yeah.
He's something else.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I mean, you saw when he had the ankle injury, he was still out there hobbling, sidearming it.
Last play, man. That last play, he said, I'm winning this game. I don't care how hurt I am. I'm running as hard as I can. And it was so unbelievable to watch him do it, man. Yeah. That dude is special. He's special and he's a winner. That's what he is, more important than anything, man. He's just a winner, bona fide.
Can't hate a winner, Book. You can't hate a winner. I think we have one super chat before we get out of here that we missed. Let me grab it here. This is from DJ 1491. What makes it so hard for some wrestlers to walk away? Congrats on your retirement, but it seems like guys can't walk away. Is it the money?
Yeah, it's hard to walk away from the money. I mean, come on, dog. But no, man, I don't think it's the money. It's that love of the game, man. Being able to, feel it, smell it, breathe it. It's something that, a lot of us have dealt with just about for the majority of our adult lives. You know what I mean? And to walk away from it is almost like being in a marriage, man, and it's over. And you know how good it was. You know how good you had it. And it's over, you know what I mean? Just the love affair with the crowd, everything, man, is a part of that deal right there as far as how hard it is to be able to walk away from it. For me, it's really hard to walk away from it, but it's a little bit easier for me to walk away from it because I still have, the Hall of Fame podcast. I'm still, the voice of NXT. You know what I mean? I'm still on the Kickoff show. I'm still got my training school, Reality of Wrestling, working with my students. I'm still so close to the game. So for me, it's a little bit easier for me to step away from it more so than most, I think. I see we got another super chat. So let's.
We do. That just came in. Eric Lamar says, "Hey guys, just wanted to know, how was it recording your old theme where you were rapping? Also, would love to see Dempsey versus Dragunov. Yeah, how was it recording? Can you dig it?"
Let's go with Dempsey and Dragunov. Okay. Dempsey and Dragunov, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't wait to see that matchup right there. Charlie Dempsey, he's a special talent. Ilya Dragunov has made his return, and I couldn't wait for this kid to make his return. I say this kid is, he's getting ready to play his greatest symphony. I cannot wait to see that matchup. But for me, rapping, as my theme song, I just never was a big fan of rap for my character. You know what I mean? Just because I didn't want to stereotype myself. And a lot of times, when you got a rap song, and you're coming out to that music, you can kind of stereotype yourself because you might be in Memphis. A lot of fans down there, they may not even like rap. They may think rap is crap. You know what I mean? So you got to know how to cater to your audience. You know what I mean? So me personally, I wasn't a big fan of, can you dig it? Yeah.
It's the Booker, man, y'all.
Yeah, that's the only part I remember.
That's all I remember too. It's a Booker, man, y'all. We got one more super chat for Kai Toenail. Paul Heyman deserves an award. I actually thought underneath the cold blue shirt was a heart. He was all emotional, crying. Boom,
man, that promo with him and Cody Rhodes was such great TV. It was such great TV, man. It was such an emotional connection there, with Cody, and then the Cody with the connection with Dusty, as well as the connection that Paul Heyman had with Dusty. Man, that thing was so real, and I loved it. That's what's really, really great about WWE right now. They're really telling some really, really great stories. And for Cody to be back, in the mix, man, and coming back in the mix the way he did, winning that Rumble, dog, everything is on course. Everything is on course perfectly right now.
I will say the promo was excellent, and what the best thing about it is there was not one, and this is not a knock to him, but I'm saying there wasn't a Sami Zayn chant. And you know what I mean by that? Like, everybody's been talking about Sami and Roman, right? And I think that was an effective promo to say, hey, this is another story that we're going to see that you really will need to care about is Cody and Roman. Right.
Yeah.
And they're doing a really great job of balancing, where in the past, right, if the fans didn't want to see this and they wanted the other thing so bad, right, that's all we would hear. I'd go back to like the Daniel Bryan Batista thing. Right. Yeah. When they wanted Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble, Batista won it. So then they started booing Batista for no reason, because they wanted Daniel Bryan. That could have happened with Cody, but they have played this thing expertly and given the crowd what they want and what they want. They being the WWE.
Oh, they've done a hell of a job, man. Like I say, no profanity. You
Mhm.
know, just real story, emotional connection with the fans. Stuff that Jay Uso's been doing has been so real. And for me, man, you know, that's what wrestling's all about. Trying to get the fans to feel a certain way about it when they see it, and they'll watch it. And they'll become a part of it. They'll become fans again. So yeah, man, I just want to applaud, you know, everything that these young guys are going out there and accomplishing as of late. Awesome shows.
100%. Well, Book, we got the weekend to look forward to. We got reality wrestling to look forward to. RealityWrestling.com at the World Gym Arena, 10,000 M&F Lowry Expressway, steel cage match, and the main event, Promise Braxton versus Ivy Niles. It's all going down.
Oh my God, man. My God, man. I just want to get one of those here before we get them out of here, man. Want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes. Caviar dreams, all the super chatters, man. We love you, man. We love you, as well as Bradley. Appreciate you for always getting the heavy work done, putting on the gloves, putting the black mask on, going in self-interrogation mode. I appreciate you, dog. We out of here, y'all. Peace.